Yo, what's up? So, I know this video is a bit different because I don't talk in my videos, but today I wanted to cover just the settings that I use. And I'm going to be sharing my Nvidia settings, my in-game settings, and my config settings. Now, I want to make it clear that these settings are specifically meant to boost your computer's performance and overall FPS when you're playing Apex. So the first thing that you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go to your settings and you want to go to gameplay. And these are the settings that I use. Before you guys roast me in the comments, yes, I'm an auto sprint player, and yes, I use auto sprint because it just feels more comfortable for me. My reticle, I just use white. Majority of the time, I'm just using white, and if not, I guess it just depends on the day. I'll use this sort of like pink red crosshair, but most of the time, I'm just using white. Now, for my colorblind settings, I use Tritanopia. Let's go over to my sensitivity. I use 0.8 and 0.9 ADS. I do play on 1700 DPI, and just to throw this in there, I use a Superlight, a Logitech Superlight. Then you want to go to your video settings. Now for my resolution, I play on 1680 by 1050. This is a very common res that a lot of content creators use, like Fade, Lyric, Complies. The only downsides to using stretch res is that you do lose a bit of FOV, and also aiming in does become a little harder, but it's just a minimal problem. It's not anything major. Head back over to your video settings. For my brightness, I play on 70%. I know some people play higher, but that's just what I like. Generally, you want to play anywhere between 60% and 80%. That's what I recommend. FOV ability scaling, turn this off. Sprint view shake, keep it at minimal. Now for advanced video settings, I have everything turned off except my Nvidia Reflex I keep at enabled. You could try boost if you're on the lower end, and my texture streaming budget I keep it at very low. So let's head over to audio. I keep my master volume at 66, and any music volume I have turned off. I keep my dialogue volume, I want to say around 60, and then I just have my sound effects at 100 because, you know, there's no audio in this game. Now those are all of my in-game settings. Let's head over to my Nvidia settings. So before we get started, I do want to point out that this is only for people with Nvidia graphics cards. So if you have AMD, this isn't going to work. So open up your Nvidia control panel. Here you can control the brightness, contrast, and gamma. I don't really tweak with these. What I use is vibrance. I have mine up to 90%. You can set this to whatever you want. I recommend between 75 and 100. Then head on over to manage 3D settings. Go to program settings. Make sure you have Apex Legends selected. I'm not going to go over every single setting here. I'm just going to scroll down and you guys can copy it. The only thing I will say, anti-aliasing, I recommend having this off, but I have mine on because it's just a personal preference. Now, once you're done copying these settings, go to the bottom right and click apply. Now, let's get into my config settings. What you're going to want to do is go to Steam, find Apex, hit settings, properties, local files, browse, and CFG. Now, you're not going to have an Autoexec, so I'm going to show you how to do it. You're going to go to this config file that you have, and you're going to copy it, and you're going to paste it. Once you paste it, rename it, and name it to Autoexec. I'm not going to name mine because obviously you see I already have one. That's what you're going to do. Go into the Autoexec that you just made. Yours obviously isn't going to look like mine, but what you're going to do is just delete everything. In the description, I'm going to have a link to where you can get my Autoexec, and all you're going to have to do is copy that into the new Autoexec you just made. By the way, in this Autoexec, you can see here that this is for 120 FOV. If you don't want 120 FOV, all you have to do is keep it at 1.55. Now, once you're done with that, you're going to save and you're going to exit, and you're going to go back to your Steam, go to properties, and these are your launch options. You need to make sure that you have this command on. If not, your Autoexec is not going to work. I'm also going to have these commands down in the description just so you guys can copy and paste it. The only thing you'll have to change are your max frames, and you're going to change the number of threads to what you have. Now I'm going to show you guys my video settings. So go down here and search saved games, Respawn, Apex, local, and you'll see video config. Before you go into your video config, make sure you go to properties, make sure read only is ticked off, apply and OK. Then go into your video config. Now again, I will have a link in the description to my video config, so all you guys have to do is copy and paste it. Once you guys pasted it, be sure to save, exit, right click on it, properties, read only, apply, and OK. Now go ahead and launch Apex. You'll probably notice how different your game looks. Your game should run better, and you should be pulling more consistent frames. Overall, your game should just feel a lot smoother. That's it for this video. I hope this video helped you guys. If it did, I'd really appreciate if you drop a sub and just give this video some feedback with a like or a comment. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you in my next video.